Today, we're going to be reading Chapter 10. Asperger's syndrome is a mild form of autism. Some autistics are non-talkers and do not make eye contact. Others are highly functional and can rattle off facts but will never be able to take care of themselves. A few are brilliant, perhaps even gifted, and are fully capable of living independently in society. Some say that Albert Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton suffered from Asperger's syndrome. It is, in fact, quite a misunderstood disease, if you want to call it that. It is within their hidden talents that comes a fixation, what's called a stem, or an involuntary act that they must perform in order to transgress into their world, a place that sets them apart from reality. They do things like flap their arms, squint their eyes, and spin objects. Einstein's stem was a penchant for repeating himself over and over as a young child and doing the same during his perplexing lectures. In the case of Mano Clayson, weed tender at Dykestraat 33, the mysterious disease had inflicted two stems. First, he loved to thumb the edges of the closed pages of books. Second, he was constantly clicking a set of pliers that his father had given to him when he was a young child. Time and time again he would turn to the pliers, usually in the tougher situations. And just about that time the clicking started to work on the nerves of those around him, it would abruptly stop. If you didn't know Mano Clayson and his obsession, you might be left asking yourself if you're hearing things, as he was so good at hiding his stem. The scholarly gangster was brilliant, like Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, but when you added his wits, leadership skills, and wealth of knowledge, you had a different person entirely, the kind of mind that could rule the world. Somebody like Thomas Jefferson, another supposed highly functional autistic. That Mano Clayson knew he was a genius was inconsequential. Responsibilities came with these gifts. When Ternosian's tower clock chimed in at 3 in the morning on Wednesday, September 11th, the autistic man was in his library reading Alexander Dumas' The Count of Monte Cristo. An ice-blue swirl of smoke escalated away from a joint of Lebanese hashish that hung between his lips. On the end table next to him sat a paperback copy of Strunken White's The Elements of Style, which he would periodically reach over to and thumb. Fanning the pages allowed him to focus. Strangely, he also was able to count the pages as he stemmed. Honestly, he couldn't explain how he did it. He just felt the paper and the numbers rolled off to a total in his head. Type or size of the book inconsequential. Fanning, thumbing, counting, like looking into a crystal ball. Another gift Mano Clayson possessed when he would open the books was the ability to memorize the words inside them, and he would read them at a pace unknown to the average man. Perhaps only a few in the world could equal him. He was an apotheosis when it came to his photographic memory. For an autistic, at 39 years old, Mano Clayson was considered highly functional. Not many could match his wits, and with his ability to memorize words came the innate capability to learn languages. He spoke over 30 fluently and literally had some knowledge in hundreds of them. Few people understood his talents, except Timon de Boer, his boss, and Klaus de Cracker, his partner at the coffee shop. Mano took a long pull from the joint, watched as the tarry substance floated overhead and danced in swirls before dissipating into the books lining the shelves of his library, then to the ceiling above. Unequivocally, he said to himself, "The best hashish in the world. Nothing matches it." Call it intuition, whatever. Yes, something was happening in his hell of a world, his brain grinding, needing to stem, the taut wires in his head twisting. malfunctioning, reforming, back online to the pliers. He never quite understood why his mind did this. Like a computer, he needed to clean the vaults in his brain periodically to arrange the facts in chronological order, like defragmenting. Control the situation, lad. You're so close to figuring it out. In no particular order, the foreign words came to him. Jag talar danska lille små. Jag pratar svenska. Om ni kakar inte reshi desu. Yo he estado estudiando español por 3 años. S'il vous plaît. Malfunctioning again. Close your eyes for the night. Grabbing his trusty pliers to quell his emotions. Klaus the Cracker, the spitting image of Kurt Cobain, worked with Mano Kleisen at Dijkstraat 33, one of Timon de Boer's coffee shops. One of the hippest shops in town, Dijkstraat 33 catered to a large audience of soft drug consumers. The interior was decorated with artifacts from Africa, as well as faraway places like Sri Lanka, Indonesia, India, and Japan. Eclectic best described how Mano Kleisen had decorated the place. Klaus looked around the room and thought, wow, Mano has traveled the world and brought back all of these treasures. The chaos from the rush hour during lunch had finally ended. Later that morning, Mano said, Simon said it may be a few days before he returns to Ternosian. Perhaps I should run out to the farm and get some things. Yeah, go ahead, man. I got this. A little while after Mano left, Klaus's good friend, Herman Brock Jr., who played in a local band called the FFFF, strode into the shop. The men exchanged pleasantries. Brock said, Mano on a run or something? Yeah, we had quite a rush earlier. No way we could have made it through the rest of the day. So, what you been up to lately, Brock asked. Klaus shot a disgruntled look. Problems with women again, eh? I don't want to talk about it. We can just change the subject. Brock guffawed. Not a problem, my man. Klaus thought of one of his many trips he'd experienced on smuggling routes. He said, I was in Rotterdam last month and checked this shit out. This chick thought I looked like the singer from Nirvana. Well, fuck, man, you do. I know, it's crazy, Klaus replied. People come up to me all the time and tell me I look like Cobain. Brock said, you even sound like him when you sing. Yeah, just playing the part, I guess. Klaus licked the joint shut and added, shoot, he's been dead for a couple of years now, right? I figured people would forget. It's not a bad thing, Brock said. The musician took a hit off the joint, spewed the smoke out, adding, the ladies probably love it. In the old days, I used to take advantage of it. And Femke van der Waal had been the one to change all that. Klaus knew it. Herman knew it. Hell, the whole town knew it. Because of his fixation on Femke, he routinely turned down women all the time. She was all he needed, an 18-year-old model. Damn, what a prize. Toward the end of the joint, the subject of his problems with Femke returned. Klaus told Herman how he believed she was cheating on him, and probably with more than one guy. He said, she's always got some fucking excuse. For fuck's sake, Klaus, you can't believe a word coming out of her mouth. Klaus heard Herman but wanted to believe otherwise. Man, she's all I can think about. The sex is just too damn good. Brock could tell that Klaus wanted to tell more. I know what you mean. So you really think she's cheating on you again? It was all Klaus could stand, In somewhat of a rage, he said, "Motherfucking bitch was gone for 3 days. 3 days, I tell you. She told me she was taking care of her fucking grandmother. She was ill." Klaus's anger quickly subsided, his voice of reason offering him bad advice. "I don't know, man. Maybe she was sick." The rock star gangster's will had been broken. He'd allowed Fempka to get the best of him. Brock looked at him disgustedly. Klaus looked like a deer in the headlights. Then, in his gullible defense, he said, "Old people do get sick. Horse shit. That's just a line of crap and you know it." Klaus slammed his fist down hard on the bar. "Fuck. You're right. So she comes in and goes, 'Hey baby, how's it going?' 'How's it going?' I say. 'You've been gone for 3 fucking days. That's how it's going.' And then she just stands there like nothing's wrong." Brock growled sarcastically. He just had that wild laugh. The musician said, "So how's Grandma?" Klaus just rolled his eyes. "She's a coke whore, buddy," Brock warned. "Why don't you see it?" "I don't know, man," said Klaus. "I have a feeling for her. Maybe she'll change." Brock flicked his tongue to his teeth, making a faint gesture of revulsion. Klaus shot his eyebrows up, released them, said, "Oh, fuck me. You can't win with this girl, Klaus. Trust me, buddy. You aren't going to change this one." Klaus knew his friend had spoken the truth. An hour later, however, to the beat of the Scorpions Still Loving You, he made love to Fempka. At the end of the show, Klaus said, "Did you enjoy it?" The model spoke with an adolescent edge. "Of course, silly." Klaus the Cracker could never say for certain if she was telling the truth. She often told him this, or she would say, "You're the sexiest man in the world," or "I can't get enough of you," or "There's just something about you." Something told him she'd say just about anything to appease him, and she wouldn't hesitate to use the same bullshit on the next man, and the next. He couldn't help wondering how many men Fempka had been with over the years. She was only 18, for crying out loud. Numerous stories about her past haunted him. The rock star gangster returned from the bathroom. Sprawled out on the bed, face down, was Fempka van der Waal. She turned her head to the side, lifted it up, and said, "Come make love to me again, Klaus." Later he said, "I have to go." "You always have to go, Klaus." "I can't stay. I got shit to take care of." "You always have shit to take care of. Take care of me." Klaus went over and kissed his girlfriend, knowing it would be difficult to deny her. He said, "Really, Fempka? I need to go." "Come on, Klaus. I need it." "You're unbelievable. You know that?" "I can't help it," the model said. "You make me this way." God, what was he going to do with her? He thought, disrobing. At the Granberries on Neustraat, the creme de la creme of eateries in Ternosian, Hannah van den Berg ate lunch with her father. Award-winning Zeus flounder and mussels, Belgian blue horse fillets, and a bottle of Santa Cristina covered the table, along with various other items including cheeses, butters, and loaves of bread. "Pa, you're never going to lose weight eating like this." "I'm going on a diet next week," he promised her, chewing as he spoke, bits of food and bristles shooting out of his mouth like BBs. "Pa," she said, seeing a crumb hit her plate. "That's so gross. How am I supposed to eat that now?" Josh Vandenberg heard his daughter's comment, reached over, plucked the contaminated food off her plate, and like the Cookie Monster, gobbled it down in a matter of seconds. "I'll order you another one," he said. "Don't worry about it, Pa. I'm not hungry." Always the same with you, her father growled, two inquisitive eyes shining down upon her. How are things at work? Oh, you know, same old, same old. In your personal life? He guessed he would have to spell it out. I heard a rumor in town, he said, a big swallow and then a lump in his neck like a python swallowing a rabbit. Hannah saw that her father waited for a response. She could barely look him in the eyes. And what did you hear? Slowly, the big man's neck shrunk back to size. I heard your American boyfriend might have gotten himself in a little trouble. Well, what makes you say that? Oh, you know, people talk and I listen. Unlike some people I know. All right, Pa. There's no use hiding it from you. I don't know. I've been hearing all kinds of rumors. Hannah was looking at him now. Jimmy and I broke up a few weeks ago, and we really haven't seen much of each other. And now nobody seems to know where he is. The recent murders, weren't those Constantine Vanderpool's men? I believe so, yes, Pa. It never ceased to amaze her the things that her father knew. Pa, do you think Jimmy's okay? Josh Fundenberg contemplated his daughter's question. He answered, how is it that the boy got mixed up with Constantine in the first place? He got the job through Rutger Furness. The strong arm from Constantine? Hannah remained silent. I'll take that as a yes, the elder Fundenberg said. He didn't know much about Rutger Furness, but he did know that Constantine Vanderpool was as crooked as they came. To his daughter, he said, what happened between you and the American? It's really stupid, Pa. You know how stubborn I can be sometimes. She was right. It's plain to see that you still love the bloke. The fact is, and don't you forget this, Hunt works for a crook and that makes him a crook. A stream of salty juice dribbled down his chin. With the napkin resting in his lap, he wiped his mouth, concluding the conversation by saying, I'll look into the matter.